Hi guys, it's Skeptic Media here. This is such an exciting day. I swear we're going to see the Flat Earthers' first model. I heard Flat Earth British talking about it on a hangout with Doomweaver, this is going to be history in the making. I can't wait. This is so exciting. GLOBEBUSTERS have their first map, working map. This is going to blow all the skepticism away. Even me. I might even change my name to Jed Flat Earth Media. My heart's beating here. I can't wait. Let's go, guys. Let's watch this.
Oh, you heard that right. Join Awake Souls, Jason Laufenberg, and Ronnie Harris of Event Skeptic.
I can't wait. This is so exciting. GLOBEBUSTERS have their first map, working map. It's
okay. The Flat Earth working map and model, macro to micro. Stars to the sun.
Will always be lined up where the north is.
Oh man, I just feel like I ate some manna.
Different grid work than this. It was just a rectangular grid work, but I forgot to adjust the angle. Timeanddate.com. It's 63 degrees. It's the sunrise angle to. Was it 87 is the sunset, and
Tonight, live at 8 p.m. Central. Only on Beyond Flat Earth.
And we are back.
That was the best promo piece ever.
Can you hear me? Am I coming through?
Yeah, you sound great.
We are the real GLOBEBUSTERS, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be misconceived with the truth.
Two carpenters, one from the United States, one from Canada, just banging it out.
Yes.
What's going on, brother?
Oh, I just loved that. Am I coming through? I don't know why my
You sound great.
it's not okay. Oh, when you pulled up the map, the map of the elect with the individual circles of sight, I was like, it was like 101.
Yeah, so I feel bad. We've been talking about this for a while, and you're the one that got the skills within Blender to be able to put together the 3D models that we've been showing people with the map of the elect, the oblique Mercator. Hotine is the one that we're using, one of the Hotines, and you're the one that figured out how to put celestial dome over it and be able to rotate the stars and be able to show how, you know, to the north it's anti-clockwise rotation, and to the south it's clockwise rotation. And amazing. There's nobody else in the flat earth that has put out anything that matches our reality like what you built there.
Thank you. And as well, what you've built as well really added to it, you know, a huge amount. And hey, what's up? I'm going to screen share the chat for a second here. It's just, we said we were going to do it. The truth is published in our on our channels. Hey, what's up, Disc Part Reality? Big shout out to Enslaved by Media. What's up, Susan Wheeler? Big shout out to the host with the most awake souls in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop it, brother.
Yeah, can you guys see the screen here?
Yeah.
What you're looking at here is me informing Jaron Campanella, Bob Nodal, David Weiss from Deep Inside Satan, and Jonathan Christopoulos, the Morgul Isle. What's up, guys? You get this notification here? Yeah, you know where we go. You know where we're at.
So we are the real GLOBEBUSTERS.
Amen.
I'm going to say that one more time. All right. We are the real GLOBEBUSTERS.
So that's I second that. I ring that. We're gonna give a shout out to all the excellent work that GLOBEBUSTERS has done, and enjoy your vacation. We're gonna keep putting out truth every single day. You can find it live Wednesdays and Sundays, and you can find our videos almost daily. Be prepared if you.
Your mic went out.
Should be back.
Yep.
So if you're out there trying to pull fast ones over and making carnival rides, you know, be prepared. You're gonna get a little hello in the inbox. Event Skeptic.
So I don't do this to you often, Ronnie, but I got a few questions for you.
My mic went out. My mic went out again.
It's cracking up. They attack us in every way they can, right?
So you should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What can they do? They can't. We're standing on the truth.
So I got a question for you, brother.
Okay.
What season are we on right now?
This is season of life.
Yeah, we don't do seasons, do we? Oh, your mic went out.
This mic, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Sorry, everybody, I can't use the kick butt mic. We are on a never-ending season, and we believe the rapture or harpazo date is September 23rd, 24th. And maybe we'll get to write another book or be a part of another book after that. But for now, we'll be putting out truth every day, right?
Yeah, that time to me seems pretty short. It was, I don't know, was it a month ago that we came into the Revelation 12 realization?
Yeah, about that.
About that. So, I mean, I guess we were pretty latecomers to the scene for the Revelation 12 thing, because people have been talking about it for a year or two before that.
Yep.
But it hit our radar relatively recent. And so one of the things that I heard from a dear brother that I love his message is that it'd be quick. This is going to happen like really snap fast. And to find out about the Revelation 12 prophecy, like about a month ago, and to have just a couple months left, it seems like a blur. Like I can see how quickly today passed. And I'm like, all I can think about is doing as much as I can to spread the message to as many people as we can. I know we're standing on the truth. We don't have people coming after us with any evidence that we're not on the truth. They're not, there's no contradiction. Like, people aren't coming and saying that you're not right because of this, and take a look at this evidence. You know, they'll come up with something like, well, you guys are liars or shills or something like that, but they won't present any evidence to look at. When we call people out, which it looks like we're going to be doing more and more and more of that. When we do it, it's with evidence. In fact, it's usually with their own word, with their own image. We're just exposing something, not making, claim, just showing people, hey, this is what you're looking at. Boom. And it's shocking. It's so overwhelming to so many people to find out that everything is corrupt.
Yeah.
Even the close-knit circle of people around you, the people that you know, the people that you work with, your friends, family. It's all being divided up right now over the truth. And people are having to take a stand to show where they are on which side of the truth. And so from what we've seen, what we understand, this is the message that I want to share. And I think you agree with it. If there's anything that I say that you disagree with, stop me, let me know. But we know this is a simulation. And the way we can say that for sure is that we know that the earth is flat. And once you know that the earth is flat, and then you look up, just like in the middle of the day, and you see that the sun's above you, you're in the shadow of an umbrella that you would hold over your head. Sun's above you everywhere. Austin, Toronto, London, Moscow, Sydney, Australia. Anybody that holds up an umbrella, you're going to be in the shadow of it. Boom. If you're on a flat plane, that's not possible. You're in a simulation. And we've been looking at what the model for the simulation is. And so we're front runners. You and I.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is pushing this message?
Well, it's the complete opposite is what we get. And that's why we are the real globe busters, because we can completely prove that there's no curvature. And we can also provide you with data and physical observations that match what we see over a flat plane.
Yeah. And there's no Satanism mixed in whatsoever. In fact, we hate it.
Yep. It's the opposite of how I felt today when we were going over the that amazing work you've done. It really did feel like heavenly food.
Well, it's right. It's in the infancy. I mean, so I woke up this morning, and I've been getting up earlier and earlier. And so I was sitting up, drinking coffee, thinking about what I'm going to do with these next couple months that I have, how I'm going to utilize it, what's the most important thing on the plate right now. And I think the big thing is giving people the model in a way that they can understand it, because for me, it's always been simple for me. I've got a really good three-dimensional mind. I guess it's been honed through being in construction, and I know you have one too.
Mm-hmm.
I can walk into an old house and just quickly scan around, and if I know that if I were to blow this wall out and put a window here and stuff like that, I can envision the way the lighting would move around in the house. I can see the way the shadows would hit the walls just within seconds of looking inside of a room.
Yeah.
I understand that that's not the case with most people. So we live in a day and age where we have the ability to 3D model things. And, I found SketchUp because I had the ability to see in my head the way I would build something. And the wife that I'm going through a divorce with, she couldn't. So if you try to draw it out, it's a long, arduous process. And if you change your mind, your drawing turns into a mess. And so I was looking for, a free 3D modeling program, and I came across SketchUp, and I started using it, and it's easy to use. Now with YouTube, anything that you want to do, you can just type in how to do this in SketchUp, and get a quick little tutorial video. So anybody can be a content creator and model up whatever they want with a program like SketchUp. And if you need higher level drawings and stuff like that, eventually, once you've learned SketchUp, you'll go into a upper grade software. So I've just been using this because it's simple. And then Blender, we started using that with our modeling, and it makes awesome looking videos. I haven't had the time to learn it. So you had the map that we've been using inside, a Blender file that has the motion of the stars, the celestial dome, and it was an awesome macro view. But there are some people that weren't able to translate the macro view down to the micro view, or our own personal sphere of observation, our line of sight, our field of view. And then there was other people that understood the physics of the stars and stuff like that. And because it was a macro view, you could see how it doesn't quite work for everybody when you look at it on that macro view. So what I've been trying to do is thinking of ways to model it up in a way to show people what you see on your personal view and the macro view. And I started working on this morning, and it's taken a little bit of while, and I have 30 degrees north latitude set up, and then I also want to do 45 degrees north latitude. I was thinking about it today. I'm probably going to do the Tropic of Cancer for the summer solstice. The equator the whole way, 30 degrees south, 45 degrees south, and have everybody see how that looks for the summer solstice. And then I want to do the same thing for the equinox, and then the same thing for the winter solstice. And once you see those three different sets and how things move back and forth, correlation to each other, it should be pretty clear to people that we're in a simulation, and that is the correct model that's being presented, because I don't see how I don't see how anybody's going to be able to contradict that, because it represents all the observable data.
It totally does. It does. It really does. I'm just getting a couple things ready here. And like, so how did it feel to finally get the micro? You know, how did it?
Well, I've seen it, and I've been telling you that I've seen it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when's the first time that I showed you something?
A while ago. Oh, today.
Well, the first time was on over a traditional Mercator that has the north and the south stretched out to infinity, right?
Yep.
So I did have that in a map in a similar style to what I'm doing now, but I was using the wrong map. And at the time, I even believed that, you know, we were under a dome.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we're learning as we go. We didn't know this all from the start, from the get-go. But the fact that we're doing this, that we're making videos, putting them out there, if we're wrong, the correction will come. Somebody will say something.
Mm-hmm.
And then that refines us, because we didn't want to be wrong, but now that somebody's shown us that we're wrong, we're happy to find the truth. So, you know, because we have that attitude, because we're open to that correction, and nobody's coming with any arguments, with any evidence, with any, like, take a look at this, I think you're wrong because of this. I think we're on it.
Well, I did have one comment from Charles from the Flat Earth Math.
Yeah.
And if I could find it, it should be a pretty interesting add to the topic. I guess the camera mic is giving me a shadow here. No rainbow shadow though. Let me see here. The comments have been great too. Really enjoyed seeing new commenters. Where are you?
Yeah. Hi, Abby. Hi, Dispart Reality. And hi, Susan. We want to answer your questions, and then tonight we want to go through the map and really try to make sure that everybody's getting an understanding what's really happening. We can use things like SunCalc. We can use things like timeanddate.com. And the popular flat earth channels are going to tell you you can't trust them, but we can actually double check, and we can test to see whether or not the information that they provide is correct as to what we see in reality. It's verifiable. We can actually measure to see where the sun rises and where the sun sets. We can measure to see what angle it's at when it's over our head, and it's actually not hard. We can teach each other how to do these types of things and have fun sharing our results with each other, knowing that we're communicating with people that want the truth, that aren't going to deceive you, make true friends, the people that we expect to spend eternity with in the new world.
Amen. Amen. Totally. I totally agree with that. That's what I want. That's what I've always wanted. Can you see the comment?
Yeah.
So Flat Earth Math says, what's interesting with this model is that it goes back to the original view of flat Earth, surrounded by a spherical celestial sphere, with distances to stars many, many times further than the size of the Earth. This map would be absolutely correct if all observers on Earth saw the same view of the stars at the same time. In this case, it looks like the observer on the equator, since both celestial poles are visible. But that's not the observations we have here on Earth. our view of the celestial poles indirectly correlated with our latitude, exactly as predicted on a globe model. Everyone does not see the same stars at the same time. Would you like to go take a crack at that, or?
Why don't you take a crack at it while I load up SketchUp?
Okay, so Charles, I'll open the video up here. It is a good question. So basically, the way that this works is I'm only showing you. Yes, this is correct, Charles. Everywhere on Earth, no matter what latitude you are, if you look to the east, the stars will rise. Okay. If you look to the west, the stars will set. So, and if you look north from anywhere on Earth, well, okay, now we get to anywhere above and below this red line, you're going to see less of the North Pole going south, and you're going to see less of Sigma Octantis moving north. Okay, and everything follows this red ecliptic path. This is the same line, and everything works. All the stars rise in the east, set in the west. This is the macro view. Are you with me, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not giving you a depiction of what each person literally sees. I'm giving you a macro view. This is a view that you can't get because you can't get outside of the firmament because there is nothing there, right? You can't push off of nothingness. Heavy memory.
Just try to envision it from being in a simulation, because we are, and what you see to your eyes is a limited line of sight. You've got on flat ground like 3 miles, and then if you're elevated, you can probably see up to 80, maybe 100 miles if you're lucky, in the right conditions, all that kind of stuff. So everything that you see is within that amount of view.
So if you're standing,
that's where you see the sunrise. That's where you see the sunset. That's where you see the stars rise, and that's where you see the stars set.
In these 4 cardinal directions, and
and keep in mind that Earth is flat. It's not a sphere. It's not a globe. They're not rotating around the ball. So explain the rise and the set on a flat plane. They come up, they go down, just like the sun goes up and the sun goes down. The moon goes up and it goes down. It actually, if you have something like a P900 and you got a nice, powerful zoom, you can see that there's clouds behind the sun as it rises through the clouds, and clouds behind the sun as it descends through them on its sunset. Same with the moon. That whole spherical thing, like you're inside of a planetarium looking up, the whole projection is happening to you from your observation point. From the horizons, all the actions happening at the horizons were not on a globe. We're not on a spinning ball. We're on a flat plane.
Yes. And we have empirical zetetic data and information. Water doesn't curve and cling to the underside. It does not snow upside down in Australia. It does not rain upside down in Australia. That is preposterous. There's no plane that leaves North America and then ends up underneath a globe. This is not real. This is okay. Jason has an amazing video on flat Earth river proofs.
Yeah. Well, we know it's very simple. Water always goes downhill, right, Ronnie?
Yes. If you do any landscaping and you build rocks or patio or a deck, you always have to have a 2% slope away from the building so that the water doesn't run into your house. Okay, water. And when you do plumbing, I'm a drywaller.
Quarter inch per foot in the United States.
And it has to be sloped down. Okay, if we were on a spinning ball, I know this is where we're getting into the macro and the micro. The macro and the micro. Okay, we're not here to psyop you. We're not with the U.S. Army. We are truth seekers with the army of Yahushai. Okay, come on. Where's the debunkers? Do you have SketchUp ready?
Yeah.
Where's the debunkers? Where are you at, guys? Where's the flat Earth leaders? We're putting out some amazing. Okay, I don't care.
I was on GlobeBusters.
Yeah,
Do you remember how that went?
Yeah, I do.
I got sniped
Mhm.
by Timmy the Troll, who's on their team. Come on, like, it's so simple to see, people. So simple. And Ronnie and I have no fear whatsoever regarding spreading the truth. There is nothing that's going to stop us. Unless if we get martyred for this world, which would be our joy. 'Cause I hate this system of things. The way Satan has this world going, I hate it. Give me a free ticket out of here and I'll take it. I don't think it's going to happen. And the reason being is who else is spreading this word right now? No one.
So, and not only that, but we're being heavily censored, shadow banned, silenced, to the point where we have to do things that we could be doing a lot more productive things with our time. But unfortunately, I can't sit by anymore during a war and watch innocent people get mocked and abused.
Well, it's I don't know. It's exciting. We've got the map, the model. We've got this nailed down. We've got Revelation 12 prophecy being fulfilled. I feel good in the spot that I'm in, and I'm sure you feel good in the spot that you're in right now too. We're trying to spread this to as many people as we can right now. I'm not storing up riches in this world right now. I could be out trying to get rich and have a nice car. I care less about that. I want to spend this time that we have left before the Revelation 12 prophecy is fulfilled. I want to try to interact with as many people as I possibly can. It's my hope, it's my intention to be raptured, translated, caught up, copy pasted from this world to the new uncorrupt world. And I do know that the scriptures are the truth. And so I know that after the rapture that there's something coming. It's called the Great Tribulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's well talked about. It's a major theme about the end times. And I hope to not be here for that. If I am, I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll try even harder. But
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. You're screen sharing now. I can see your screen.
Nice. So this right here is timeanddate.com. I've got Austin, Texas up. Austin is, I always say it's at 30 degrees north. It's not exactly 30 degrees north. It's close. And so the summer solstice, this is what I'm modeling right now. That was June 21st. And you can see that in Austin, it rose 62 degrees. This is north of east. And it's set 298. This is north of west. This was the longest day of the year. And the solar noon declination, this would be the highest declination that I would have in Austin, was 83.2 degrees. So these are the factors that I did in the model. 62 298, 83.2. So in SketchUp, this right here is just a circle that I drew. We've got the green line here. That's north. I've got the big N on it. And so this right here is 62 degrees and 298 over here. This blue line is the XYZ axis, the up and down. So I have the line pitched over here at an angle of 83.2 degrees. Now, as you rotate this around, here we are looking south. Here we are looking east. Here we are looking north. Just get your orientation here and drill down to the center point so that you are this person standing right here. Now, I think for people in the north, the best orientation would probably be to put your back to the north and be looking south like this. All right, so you've got the east over here, west over here. Now, if you turn and you're looking to the east and the sun is rising at 30 degrees north latitude, you will see the sun rise in the 62 degrees. This is where it's going to pop up from the horizon right here. This, for a person on flat ground, this distance right here out to the horizon is about 3 miles. That is not that far. Very, very close. So you will see the sun rise here. If you were filming it with something that's probably got a 50x or better zoom, you have, with the right cloud conditions, the opportunity to catch clouds behind the sun as it ascends through the cloud layer. Now, if you sit there and watch the angle as it goes up, it will follow this curved arc. Now I'm going to back this out here a little bit. You see this type of curved path like this. So it rises up, it crests out, starts descending. Now you're back down at that observation point here. And as the sun sets, you'll see it come down through the clouds. If there's clouds there, you're probably going to catch clouds behind it. And it'll come down and it's going to set up here, this north of west. So what I did is I took this for an individual person's perspective and put it on top of our map. And I've got it lined up on 30 degrees north, like Austin is. So, let's just get oriented for the people that are new to this map. I may have moved a little too quick. This is the Hotine oblique Mercator. This dark blue area is from a different map that doesn't have as good a graphics, but has the same type of layout. So I'm using the maximum amount of map space from this map, which gives us the best detail. You've got the North Pole here, the red line's the equator, the yellow is the Tropic of Cancer, and the Tropic of Capricorn. You can see Australia's split in two. So it looks like you have 3 points, like a North Pole and then 2 South Poles. But if you notice, it's split half and half. So it's just one pole, but one half is on one side and the other half's on the other side. So you can see that with this type of grid work here, and these would be the magnetic lines, the longitude lines, you see how these all feed into the North Pole right here? With this map here, you would be north would be following that curved line. And then what's interesting about this is when you take this map and wrap it onto a sphere in a program like Blender, these curved lines here turn into the straight circular lines like you would see on a croquet ball. Am I boring you, Ronnie? I feel like I've been talking a bunch. So here you've got North America. I'm going to drill down, and this is that little, this would be like a field of view, a circle of vision, person's perspective. Hi, Ronnie.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, they just won't let this mic go. But yeah, no, you're not boring me. This is absolutely vital information.
Thank you, brother. I felt like I was rambling too long.
Oh no, keep it going, because I'll have Blender ready when you're done. This is good. Anybody? Good to see you, Blue Blood. I don't know why your channel's. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, dude. We tried to unblock it. We'll try again. YouTube does this constantly, and no questions. There was an odd question asked by someone saying that flat Earth is a alien created. I guess the Mark Sargent. Yeah, I guess if you call Yahweh and Yahushua aliens, that is correct. But other than that, no. And the Book of Revelations, Blue Blood, is not fear porn. Okay, it's the Holy Scriptures that were inspired by the creator of this simulation.
It's prophecy, so it's a warning to everybody. You can disregard it, but it would be to your own detriment. That would be for sure.
You only have to fear it if you're against it.
Yeah.
But continue, please.
So I'm just going to zoom back out here because I know a lot of people have, 3D perception problems. So I want people that are having a hard time understanding this to ask specific questions so I can drill down. I can show you whatever you want to see.
Yep.
So this. Go ahead.
Enslaved by Media, he says he concurs. Jason, that is exactly the sun's path where he lives. I believe it's Massachusetts. No.
Yeah. So
that's not hard to say.
So I've got 30 degrees modeled up, and then I'll have 45, which would be closer to where he is. It'll be a little bit north of him, but he'll So, I mean, just for time, I'm going to do 45 degrees, 30 degrees. I think I want to do the Tropic of Cancer here for the summer solstice. That'll be a neat one to look at. Also the equator, and then probably 30 and 45 degrees south. So, I mean, it's a lot of work putting all these little things down on the map and lining them up. And I just started working on this morning. So, this right here is 30 degrees north. So you can see that for each one of these circle of sites, for a person, this is Austin, right in this area right here. So anywhere along this line, for a person here, they would see the sunrise at this angle up here. And then it's going to set at this angle up here within their circle. Next circle, they're going to see it rise in this direction and set over in this direction. Now, once you start lining these up side by side with each other, you understand that's not possible. It can't happen that way. And it'll become more ridiculous as we go into the higher. Once we go up to 45 degrees, it'll be more ridiculous. The super, super, super ridiculous thing is when you look at anywhere from the fall equinox to the spring equinox in the southern hemisphere, because then the angles are just plain going the wrong way for the AE model to work, period.
Yeah, completely. Well, it completely verifies the simulation realization.
It does.
And having you model this on the
micro.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And well, I do have to admit, I have taken blueprint reading courses, and I'm certified as a blueprint reader for the Carpenters Union. But for this should be pretty basic for everyone to get.
So here we are coming into North Africa. This is 30 degrees north. And for every place along this line, this latitude, the sun rises at this angle, sets at this angle, and its meridian or solar noon declination is at this angle, the 83.2 degrees on the summer solstice. So once again, I'll do this for the solstice, the solstices and the equinoxes. I only got to do it 3 times because the equinoxes are both the same. But that is the way we see it. And that is the way, if you were down on the ground and you were to hold a compass, north is always going to follow these lines. And that's the reason you see how these magnetic lines curve on this map.
Oh yeah.
And that's the reason why when they show us other map projections, they have to add in the what's the amount that you have to calibrate for with your compass, the
Declination. Magnetic declination. So basically with this map, we don't need magnetic declination.
Well, it shows you right on the map what the magnetic declination is doing. It shows you where north is all the way through these different latitudes.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful, and there's people in the chat having complete realizations right now. I have to tell everyone I felt the same way, and I have been since we started working on this project. This map was an oblate square that just happened to be a stereographic projection that is a 2D representation of how they've been able to tell us that we live in an infinite space. But this is truly what we can measure synthetically. Nobody has ever measured the movement of Earth, but we can measure the movement of the sky and of the objects in it. And this is flat Earth simulation realization proof. Okay, put the comments below. You can debunk me.
Yeah, so I mean, for people that are in the United States, I know this isn't the highest resolution graphics. We're just working with what we've got, doing the best we can. But here's Florida. This line right here is the 30-degree north latitude line. And go ahead and double check. Use SunCalc, use timeanddate.com. Look at anywhere along 30 degrees north, anywhere on Earth. You're going to see the sunrise, angle, and set. And you can pick any place along that latitude, and it's going to rise at that angle and set at that angle. It's got the same solar noon declination. And you can clearly see when you line these up side by side, that's not possible. It's the only way that works is in a simulation. And believe me, I've looked at this. This is not as damning as the winter solstice, at least, for the AE model. That one really makes the AE model look ridiculous. So we all got to snap to, wake up. Like, we've been deceived. Yes, the Earth is flat. The popular flat Earth channels are liars and deceivers. The GLOBEBUSTERS are on vacation. Their season finale was this last Sunday. We don't need them. We don't need them anymore. They're what's the GLOBEBUSTERS done for the flat Earth community over the last how many years?
Well, they've helped to expose NASA.
Yeah. So how long do we still need to just talk about NASA? Could we talk about who created this place?
Yeah. Who created it and how does it actually work?
Yeah. Could we talk about the fact that once you know the Earth is flat, you absolutely can positively know that you're in a simulation just by holding an umbrella over your head? being in the shadow between you and the sun. Sun's over you.
Yeah.
Even if you're not in the tropics.
Yep. Everywhere on Earth. Could you zoom out a bit on the map?
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanna talk about. Oh, are we getting a comment from the chat? Yeah, I agree with you totally. Enslaved by media, we do not live on a pizza pie map. That is totally over. What were the questions here? If you do have any questions, please attach Awake Souls or Event Skeptic to the question. We will see it highlighted. Also, what happens to the sun when you are on a plane or you're in a plane? Okay, that's what we're showing here, right? So
Yeah, let me show you.
You want me to play and then you can go back? I can show them the movement of the sun.
I'm just going to show this quick. This little representation here, you could say that the radius of this is 3 miles for a person on flat ground. All right, so let me get over this thing quick and select the whole thing. And now I'm going to hit scale. All right, so now, oops. All right, so as you go higher, all right, you see what happens? Do you see how that your field of view, your circle of vision, bigger it gets, the higher you go, the larger the circle of your vision is?
That's right. It's due to the altitude of the observer. Your field of view increases the higher you are in altitude, and we believe up to 250 miles might be the max. But that's still, we have to go on an airplane, and
I don't know that we can see 250 miles.
Well, I'm thinking from 20,000 feet up. Remember, the higher you are, the larger view your altitude is. So we need to test it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you.
Well,
on the ground, we can only see between 3 and 9 miles.
I've put myself out there, challenging people. How far can we see? I challenged Jaron when he was showing his CGI crap. And I think the farthest confirmed footage of like mountains seen at a distance with like something like a P900 has been in the 75 to 80 mile range. I don't think anybody's claimed viewing something farther than that yet.
Yeah, well, so I'm saying swing that arc, that 80 miles. You'll probably end up with a sheer maximum of 250 miles, no matter which way you go at it. But I'm saying the micro, our human eyes can't see much past 3 miles. Come on, everyone. If you think you can see a bus at 4 miles away, come on. We don't see much. We see lots of sky.
Mm-hmm. But it's like in the planetarium, out to the horizon, you see the sun rise on one side of the planetarium and it comes around and sets in the other side of the planetarium, and guess what? You're always in the center. You are always in the center of that. So we now have the technology to be able to see that we're in a simulation. Using the P900, when you can see clouds behind the sun, that's not possible in the physical reality that we've been taught. None of those laws of physics that we've been taught are real if we're in a simulation. They're just approximations. Science is make-believe, made-up stuff. We're in a simulation. The creator of the simulation is the God of the Bible. His name is Yahweh. When he came into this world to save us, his name is Yahushai. We know from the scriptures that he's coming back We know from Revelation 12, there is a prophecy being fulfilled September 23rd, 2017. This looks like the year. So it's time to buckle down and get serious about what you want to do with your life.
And we got some questions from the chat.
Cool.
Pretty good ones, actually. He's asking, where is the simulation scriptures? So I'm just looking here to see if I have any of those prepared. I know I have quite a few. Basically, it says not to love anything of this world. That's one of them.
Well, there's so many things when the scriptures talk about the things of the flesh. If you understand that to be of believing to be the physical body, and so there's some things where you just, if you do the word replacement, if you read it like you understand that you're in a simulation, where you know that you're in a simulation, you can prove that if the earth is flat and then you look up, you know you're in a simulation. Once you know that for sure and you read through the scriptures, it's like seeing through a new lens. It's a paradigm shift, and the connections all happen in your head. We can point them out to you, and Ronnie's got lists. We're happy to share them all, because that's what's been happening to us the whole time. As we read the scriptures and knowing that we're in a simulation, we're like, oh, the light bulb goes on, and you're like, well, that makes sense now. So, yeah, the scriptures, when you know that you're in a simulation and when you read the scriptures, you have clearer, better understanding of things. So Enslaved by Media said, I'm realizing we can hear sounds further away than we can see. Do you guys agree? I don't know. I'm paying attention to everything now. I've been noticing problems with thunder. Because I filmed lightning that was like right there in front of me, and it was hitting this ridge. It was just a couple thousand feet away, and no big thunders, at least not for like 15, 20 seconds later, totally unrelated thunders. Yeah. So,
and the peal.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm paying attention. Everything's, when you're paying attention, there's so many things that we have missed when we weren't paying attention.
So I got a scripture I could share. Let me pull up my proper. I suggest everyone uses eSword. I know when I hear the loons, I can hear them from up to 5 miles away at the lake. It's pretty far. Mm-hmm. But, I'm pulling up the scripture as Deuteronomy 4:19. I'm just getting that up here. That's in your Bibles, King James or NIV, whatever Bible, actually. 1 second.
So there's a question from Dispart Reality is resharing. What happens to the sun when you are in a plane? From what we have seen, looking at all the footage that we've looked at, the higher we go, the farther the bigger the span is that the sun has to travel, it always renders above you. All the high altitude footage, everything, it always renders above you. Now, well, I don't know. There is some footage that from pilots and planes where it looks like it's below 2. I don't know whether or not that's accurate or not, but it does make a bigger circle. It will go above you at its crest. The stars are a little different. So when the high altitude balloon footage has gone up, it appears that when the high altitude balloon goes above something like 50, 60,000 feet, that it is above the stars and they no longer render. They don't show up anymore. So different parameters for the stars as opposed to the sun and the moon. And we do know that there's things like, when you're looking at the sun or the moon, the transits of the way stars can go in front. And the sun and moon are very close to us. Very close. You can see clouds behind them. Do you remember that video that I made that Bob mocked? As far as the calculating the size of the sun? Ronnie, your audio's not working.
Yeah, I remember. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I used the wingspan of the golden eagle.
That's hilarious.
And you know what it works out to be? That the size of the sun at that distance from you, if the sun is being rendered to you at like 3 miles, if you're on a flat plane, on a flat area, the diameter of the sun works out to being roughly 200 to 250 feet in diameter. That's how wide that space in the sky is. Its angular width, or the radians the width of it is.
Yeah.
It's not that big.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing. The scriptures that I got lots, but I'll just throw one out there. Why can't I exit this? Deuteronomy 4:19. It says, "And beware not to lift up thine eyes to heaven and see the sun and the moon and the stars and the host of heaven, and be drawn away and worship them and serve them, those which Yahweh your Creator has allotted to all the peoples under the whole heaven." So, that means we can all see under the heaven. There's no one in Australia that's really under the heaven, and we're on top of the heaven. The heaven is above us. And I can even go back to Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the surface of the deep. And the Ruach of Yahweh was moving over the surface of the waters. So right there, that it's an emptiness with waters. And there's a surface to it, which indicates, like the meniscus of a glass of water, it has a flat top surface. And in the beginning, he created the heavens and the earth. So there was the heavens made. The earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the surface of the deep. What does that mean to you?
Well, here, as you were reading this and going back to answering the question about the scriptures that support this being a simulation, Genesis is taking me right to the whole, was it third day, that the light and dark, which
I was just about there.
You were just about there. So
and then Yahweh said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
Yeah, so there was light, but then it was on the fourth day that the sun and the moon were created. So,
and Yahweh saw that the light was good.
So when
Yahweh separated the light from the darkness. This is pre-moon, pre-sun, pre-stars.
Yeah, when you look at the construct of this world, it being a simulation, like right now, let me turn the computer a little bit, you'll see You see that color?
No, I don't have it up yet. Yep.
See the color in the sky? So that type of lighting, there's no sun up. The sun's down. And we're not on a ball. The sun's not on the other side of the ball right now. For people that are smart enough to know that they're not on a spinning ball, the sun's down, set out there at the horizon. The sky's got that color to it. So he created that color scheme of where that glow comes into the sky and how the sky lights up and turns to a light blue, the baby blue sky. And then as it goes down, those gradients into those colors. The creator designed that first, and then he added the sun and the moon.
That's correct.
It's coding. It's the way he designed it, and that's the order he designed it in, and that's he told us in the scriptures.
Yep, he did. There's nothing that hasn't been put out for us to witness to. And you know, that's just a really, really basic. You know, just looking at the first few scriptures in the Bible. You know, we now see that, and then we move a little bit ahead. And there was the first day and the first evening, and then there was morning, one day. Then Yahweh said, "Let there be an expanse, let there be a raka in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." Right? Everybody with me here?
Mm-hmm.
After he made the expanse, he made the waters, and he separated it, and it was so. This is really basic stuff here. It's not complicated, right? And then Yahweh called the expanse heaven. Okay, so the expanse is somewhere we can't access as physical beings in this simulation.
Well, if we do some correlations in vocabulary, if you're trying to think of this as a simulation, you might think of heaven as being server side, okay, or at least not in this physical. Well, it's not even physical, but like outside of a body that if you hit hit it with a hammer, you're going to feel pain. So to be out of that type of physicality could also be a reference to heaven.
So, can you still see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
There's multiple scriptures. And in Enoch, he beheld the receptacles of light and thunder in the extremities of the place where it was deepest. There was a bow of fire and arrows in their quiver, a sword of fire, and every species of lightning. So you can imagine what Enoch is seeing as the sun traveling above us. So Jason was showing the other map. And then we also have this perspective. So this is the same map. This would be the sun on the Tropic of Capricorn as it goes across its day. And I'll get you to go back to your map after, so people can see, because it's a really good representation.
So what this version does right here is it shows people the timing of the day. So the sun is not a physical gaseous ball, fusion, whatever, traveling along that line up in the sky, 3 miles high or 3,000 miles high or 93 million miles high. It's not that physical gaseous ball. What you're seeing here is as it moves across the map and the grid work right here, you're passing longitudes. And so this is the clock action of the model. That representation right there is saying when the sun rises for a certain location and when the sun sets, when the moon rises and when the moon sets. But it's not a physical mass traveling up in the air over you like that. It's the way I showed you in my micro view of within your field of view, it rises, goes up and over and sets. But this right here represents the timing of when that all happens. So that's the difference between the macro and the micro. Macro is the timing of it all. It sets the parameters as far as what your angles of rise and set are. It sets the parameters for what your solar noon declination is.
So it's,
and when that all happens, but it's not a physical mass traveling over that line.
No, and we can get into more complicated modeling parameters, like if I really wanted to make it perfectly match, like I've shown before, I could simply rotate the moon as it goes about its path. Oh, not scale. I just have to make sure I have the right rotate. But it's easy to basically do. If we work on what we actually see and what we can observe, we can understand. So it would just do this as it goes about its path. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, if I pan over and get maybe the right. This is the actual 2D picture of the moon remapped onto.
That's awesome.
Onto a sphere.
We're a couple of carpenters. What the heck are we doing?
Where was that? I didn't have the right face here, because we got to make sure that we actually represent what we see. So there we go.
Yeah, because
there's the face that we see. That's the man in the moon, or whatever you want to call it. Both sides see it because this is a simulation, and then it just rotates like this. Oh, I don't know why it's jumping. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we get. Just this small rotation.
And somebody's going to ask the question, why? Right?
Why does it rotate?
Why does it rotate, right?
Well, that's a good question.
It's because that's the way the creator made it. You know, why is my porch here 30 feet wide? It's the way I made it. You know, why is it gray? It's the color I chose. But look at what the creator made. It's amazing. Like, people have been just baffled and amazed and overwhelmed by these things. And what an amazing job.
Do you want to go back to your map now?
Sure.
I think it would be highly useful. I don't know why my mouse is acting up here. Did you take the screen share? Okay. Okay.
All right. So, ask me a question like you don't understand this map, Ronnie.
Okay. Okay, what is that green line?
So we've heard of this line, at least from the North Pole down like this, as the prime meridian. And you'll see on this map that it goes through England.
Okay.
It sort of matches what we're familiar with.
And it draws a line splitting the 4D map of Earth in half.
All right, so I don't understand 4D quite.
Or 2D. four sides, 4 pieces. You could split the map into 4. That's all I meant.
Okay.
Not 4D.
I'm like,
You have an east, you have a west, you have a north, and you have a south. And basically, the 4 directions, 4 sides. And
yeah, well, this, for those people that are familiar with the globe, Here's your prime meridian. And on this map, the anti-meridian is interesting because it actually goes along this side here, this edge here to here. So it's really anywhere above Antarctica here becomes the anti-meridian. And then, so when it stitches back together, when we wrap this in Blender onto a 3D sphere, it actually all does come together. These yellow lines and red lines become straight balls around the globe like a croquet ball. There is a little bit of glitches, but then if you look at a globe, you'll see that on the anti-meridian, they've got some zigzags on there too. So
yeah, it doesn't work right. We found the problems when projecting this to a sphere. We know where the distortions happen, and it's only right in the water here, and the globe has a giant elephant in the room when inspecting these areas, whereas this map here is just, it's pure simplicity and perfection. It has the alpha and omega, it has the celestial equator, it has an earthly equator, it has the two tropics. Jason has the micro sunrise sunset along which parallel? Where are we here?
I did it on 30 north, just
30
because
north.
That's where I am. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, it's great to represent what you see, and I was showing before this the sun's path along this on the macro.
So I'm gonna hover around here, and I'm gonna come in like I'm the sun rising in the east. Like this is the beginning of a new day. So it comes across the international date line. Now, this is not a physical object. Just think of it as a reference point, just like this little green and red cursor thing. As it moves along this point, this is triggering sunrises and sunsets as it moves along.
Within their field of view.
Within their field of view. But this isn't a physical object here, okay? So this is just a reference point running along this line. And because the reference point is at this point right here, this line is where on the summer solstice, this is the farthest point north that you'll have a solar noon declination of 90 degrees overhead, where the sun is directly overhead. Now, when you go up to 30 degrees north, like this is, so here you have the sunrise. This was 62 degrees north, 62 degrees, and what was it, 268, I think, for the sunset. So this is north of east, north of west. At 30 degrees north, the solar noon declination is 83.2 degrees. Now, as you move along this line, just imagine a sun traveling across over this yellow line here, 90 degrees overhead. It's triggering the rises and sets all along here. But for a person standing here, this is what they see.
Well, it's when the sun's field of view or circle of sight intersects with each one of those circles of sight, the sun becomes visible, rising until it reaches its declination, its meridian point, the highest of the day, and then it will set. And as it does that, it intersects with the next circle, and so on and so forth. And this is how it rises and sets twice a year, 90 degrees east and 270 degrees west, everywhere on this map. And this is the only map, not a globe, has to be a flat map. It can't be a circle. It has to be this map, right, Jason? This is the only one that I found.
We do hear from the map creators that this is the most accurate representation of land here on Earth. Now, they will tell you that they have pushed the distortion off into the water, okay, because they say that we're on a globe and that there cannot be a two-dimensional map that matches what happens on a three-dimensional globe. Okay, so they say the land mass is correct, but we've pushed the distortion off to the water. Well, once you know that you're not on a globe, that you're on a flat plane, then you are looking for a flat two-dimensional map. And if this landmass is correct and accurate, it means the water has to be as well. There's no place to push the distortion off to because there is none.
Yep. That's without a doubt. And it's completely we have it perfectly mapped out and presented here. There's no way that this is being misconstrued. So again, Jason's got the micro view there, and in Blender here I have the macro. We'll just get those two together at some point.
Yeah, and we're gonna pump out videos that we try to like make this as concise and clear so that we can get into like a 10 or a 15-minute video. You know, what it's taken us almost an hour and a half to talk about, but we'll put all this together, share it, and then we need people to give us feedback. We need people to share this if you agree with it as truth. If you think what we're sharing is true, then it's really your responsibility to share it with people, because it's just not cool to sit on truth and not share it with people.
Yeah, slow play. We are the real GLOBEBUSTERS. We're not here to slow play. We will not slow play.
Oh no, we're done with that. We're gonna ratchet it up faster and faster and harder.
We don't have seasons. We don't take vacations.
No, we're gonna step in. We're gonna fill the void when GLOBEBUSTERS are gone, and there's absolutely no need for them to ever come back, because well, of course, we've exposed them as being Satanists, and well, the audience that we're reaching out to, we're reaching out to everybody, but we're not trying to. Yes, come, all you Satanists, come, but you have to give up your old ways.
Yeah, that's a must. So, again, I'll show this one more time, so everyone can see. The sun and the moon are following these paths, and we're just showing exactly. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. I try to figure out different ways to explain it, but it's basically. That'll sit down. So here it is here. So the sun rises in the east, right over here by Australia. It comes down, comes through South Africa, back across South America, and it sets in the west. And not only does it do that, but all the stars that we're looking at, they copy the same movements. Why is this so large?
See, by doing it like this and using a map like that, it gives the perception of, even though you're on a flat plane, giving a three, like it does make it appear and look like we are on a ball. That is true. That is the way the Creator designed this world. But
more encompassed, or it not like a ball. It was a comfort factor. You know, what did he want? How would you create it any different?
Yeah, well, it's got to render. The sky has to render to us. You know, we're in a simulation. It has to render to us where we are. That spherical dome, like we see right here. That's the way the Creator went with it, and it's amazing. If he had just had the stars travel over our heads flat, like there were planes going from the east to the west, we would have figured out really quickly that we're in a simulation.
Yeah, he designed it with beauty.
He did.
And we're not to worship the creation, and that's why we know that it's a simulation, because what your spirit is what makes you. You're conscious, and it's not physical. It's 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 about your spirit, and that's why we know that this is a simulation, and we're trying to teach people what we learn, and that's pretty much why we're the new GLOBEBUSTERS. We are the real GLOBEBUSTERS. We always have been. We always will be.
That was awesome, brother. You got anything else you want to share?
I think there was a couple more questions here.
Okay.
Let's see here. Susan, how do we find the shape was derived from a flat map? Yes, you can back engineer a globe with this map. This is how they did it. This is the correct way. I think there was more questions. Wake the Sheeple, Carl Steinbeck, Cigar Face, Abby Hayes, Charlie, what up? How you doing? Alaska is huge in this map. Good question. Do you have the map there?
Yeah, Alaska and
right.
Russia.
So could you type in, Jason, while I pull this map up here? Just
What?
like to type in Putin gives away hectares of land.
Okay. Can you do that? I'll show the map.
I got the map up.
Okay. I'll look for it.
So as you can see, this large area here, this would be, I guess this would be Eastern Russia. Okay, this is the supposed Stalin skull and bones littered land from the World Wars. And when Putin was elected, he tried to run a campaign where he took a Jeep and drove through here, but halfway through the promotion, the Jeep broke down and he got towed back to Moscow. It was pretty funny reading the articles. But he has given away, Russia has now given away land to anyone on this flat earth or in the country of Russia, as long as you have a 3-year plan and you actually build on this land. So you can see this is a huge amount of land compared to the rest of the islands that we see here.
I'm looking at Wikipedia, and it says 1 hectare or 2.5 acres of free land in Russia Far East to Russian citizens and foreign nationals as long as they live there for 5 years. And
he's just giving away land, free land. That's your math power land. Is this thing on? The math power land revolution. So these areas are large. We've never been to them. You're not allowed to go to these areas.
Well, and it's also very, very far north.
Yeah.
Very far north. So if I can share, I'll show you, get people realize how far north this is.
Yep, I think you are.
So when you look at the map here, I put those individual, circle of sites on the 30 degrees north latitude here. The next one up here is 45 degrees north latitude. That runs through by you up here just north of Toronto. Okay, so that's far north. And then the next circle is 60 degrees north. That's crazy north. I mean, look at how far that's, like way up through Hudson Bay there.
Yeah, that's the Northwest Passage.
That's 60 degrees north. And then the next circle is the 75 degrees north. Now look at, see these, here's the 60 degree north circle right here. And this goes around, and this is on the south side of all this land up here. Okay, so this is 60 degrees north here. This massive amount of land here is the equivalent to land north of Hudson Bay.
Which we don't really get to go to ever.
Yeah.
And it probably does get cold, but I'd love to travel. I'd love to see these places.
And so that here's 68 coming around to Alaska. You know, here familiar with, you know, this would be Anchorage in this area here, and then all this land here going towards the North Pole. Remember, from this point here to go north, you would be going this direction to here. So don't think that from right here north is up. It's following these curved lines back around to the North Pole right here. Any other questions?
Yeah, there are people going over Enoch. If you show the map for a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Yeah, great turnout. Really nice to see everybody in the chat. Molotov Cocktail, haven't seen you in a while. Big shout out to you, brother. Blue Blood, still killing it out here. Keep up the great music on your channel. You got the map up? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Enoch 68, or 68:24. Heaven was suspended by it before the world was made forever. By it has the earth been founded upon the flood, while from the concealed part of the hills the agitated waters proceeded forth from the creation of the end of the world. By this oath it has been formed, and the foundation of it. By this oath the sun and moon complete their progress, never swerving from the command given to them forever and ever. By this oath the stars complete their progress, and when their names are called, they return an answer forever and ever. Thus in the heavens take place the blowings of the winds, all of them have breathings, and the effect complete combination of breathings. There are treasures of thunder and are kept, and the splendor of the lightning. There are treasures of snow, the hail, and the frost, and there are treasures of dew. And with them, this oath by which they and their paths are preserved, nor doeth not their progress perish forever and ever. So, you know, it's redundantly the sun, Enoch 71:11, and in the fourth gate through which the sun with the moon proceeds, in the first part of it, there are 12 open windows from each issue of flame, and when are all opened in their proper periods. And it's talking about how the sun goes out, thus it goes out, thus it goes in and out, neither slacking nor resting, but running on its chariot by day and by night. It shines with seventh portion of light from the moon, but all the diminishes are both equal of size. So basically what he's saying is the sun and the moon are the same, and the light of the moon is a seventh of the sun, and it travels a seventh slower. So the sun overlaps the moon, thus we get eclipses. I could go on all night, but I think I'm getting bad sound, so I'll just say, what would you like? Did you want to end it with a video or anything, or?
You know, we're in the just a little over an hour and a half, and I don't want to overwhelm people. I want to make this digestible. I think this should be good, and I thank you so much, brother. That promo piece was absolutely awesome. Loved it.
Well, I guess we are thankful for everybody in every way, and you know, we are the real GLOBEBUSTERS. We are the ones who are out here fighting for truth, and please join our team, share our work if you enjoy it. Leave comments and questions below.
I'm going to step it up a notch, and I'm going to say that if you think what Ronnie and I are saying is true, it's actually your responsibility to share it.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't cover the rocket. Here, I'll just show a quick couple of slides, then we'll go.
Okay.
Sorry. Can you see my screen?
Just a second. Yep.
Okay. So basically, you got Jeranism from the fake GLOBEBUSTERS, and Fei Pei, whatever this is, this penguin. They're proposing that they're going to launch a raccoon, which is a rocket that is lifted by a balloon and then launches.
You see any problems in that image?
A couple. And they are asking for donations, ladies and gentlemen. You know, don't worry. So you got this option, so that he could Fei Pei, the thieving penguin, can carry the rocket up, and then he can try to, you know, launch this way. I think Richard Cabranson and Magic Mike did this with Virgin Galactic, and the pilot died, and that was trillions of dollars. So I guess Fei Pei and his $5,000 donations is going to accomplish the same feat. So you got this option, and you got this option here. Can you see this one now? So Fei Pei is going to have a bad outcome with this option. This is no good, Fei Pei. You know, bad Satan. Bad. Okay. So I'll just show a couple other slides. 1 second.
I can't believe that Jaron has a channel of like almost 70,000 people, or maybe 70,000 already. And he's going to go around promoting the idea of like this raccoon, right? A rocket lifted by a balloon. And it was one of the dumbest things I think I've heard out of his mouth yet.
Yeah. And he was talking about, you know, he thinks he has a higher chance of living this time.
Yeah. Much higher chance of living.
Just total selling it. So you see this, I had a rocket kit as a kid. Trust me, you know, I'm no rocket scientist, but I have shot rockets. One thing I know is the angle of these fins, they had to be perfectly tuned, because the rocket needs to spin like the trajectory of a bullet, right?
It has to be rifled.
Rifled. So
like you're throwing a football.
Yes, that's a good example. And anyone who's flown a rocket knows that you also need an apparatus for the rocket to lift off with. So where again in Fei Pei's world is this apparatus attached to this balloon? Where's the? It's just gonna roll end over end. If he tries to launch, it's gonna go. You know, this isn't gonna work, guys.
Well, I was trying to make sense of the nonsense that they were spewing, and there's something about a balloon lifting a rocket, and then at a certain height, they were going to launch another rocket. So I don't know, from that little cockpit in this carnival ride, if he's like holding another Roman candle style rocket, and then he lights the wick and then points it as he's falling back to Earth and has a 30% chance of survival. You know, whether or not that rocket will go on to 60 miles above the atmosphere.
Yeah, into the troposphere. He hopes there's no dome. Actually, you know what? Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
I'd like, you know, Jason, thank you so much for what you did today with that map and the micro. You're a blessing to all of us. Thank you to everyone in the chat. I want to end with the Carney video.
Yeah.
And a huge shout out for Disc Part Reality and to Rosette. Everyone make sure you check out both these channels.
Rosette Delacroix.
She's linked all over our work. And Disc Part Reality too, like great co-producing and thought-provoking. That's what we're looking for here. Anyone out there listening to this, we want your help coming.
And to all of our P900 brothers and sisters, keep filming, keep showing us those clouds behind the sun. Everything that you catch in the sky, we go by observations.
Yeah. And thank you everyone else too, all the returning people and and you know, we miss you. We miss all of our subs. We actually do like building, you know, relationships with our viewers. We care. I know I do, and I know Jason does. That's what we want here. We're not here just for the truth. We're here for communion.
Thank you, brother.
I'm going to share. Thank you.
Yes, I'm looking for the head of the penguin.
All right. Hey.
Yes, I'm looking for the head of the penguin.
All right. Hey.
Yes, I'm looking for the head of the penguin.
All right. Hey, Jaronism, and thanks for dropping by. You just got on, and right now I just pulled up onto the screen a picture of Mad Mike Hughes' newest. Yeah, it's the latest picture of the rocket, and as you can see, it's pretty much built.
Dude, that guy's got some balls.
Yeah, did you hear what he said? He said that last one, he was like, I gave myself a 30% chance of survival.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
At least he said this one's going to be a little bit more.
But
he gives himself a higher percentage chance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. August is, I think if we can drum up enough support for this and enough attention, then the next one will have no problem meeting any of its financial objectives in order to make that one happen.
I didn't check what we're at. What are we at today?
I think we're at 18 or 1900.
Oh, so not much after the Raw show.
Yeah, it kind of had a spike at first, but I think by the end of this month we'll get close to 4 or 5. And we're on a good timeline, though. I think we're going to make the goal.
And did he pick a date yet, or we just got beginning of August? That's all we know right now.
He's convinced that he'll get the most media attention if he does it in the middle of the week. So we're looking at August. Steam-powered rocket. He's going to release a PDF on how the thing works and how the other one works. But this one's going to go for 1 mile at about 600 feet up or so. And then it's going to parachute down. After that's the big launch where he gets it's a raccoon, a rocket balloon. So it's a rocket lifted by a balloon up to 130,000 feet.
And then what does he want to do? He wants to shoot a rocket from that point and hit 60 miles?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. And I'm like, wow, I don't know how they're going to do it. He has the information, but it's all proprietary. He's going to release it probably next month. But they have a plan to get to the Kármán line. So I hope there's not a dome for his sake.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's no naysaying. Rule number 2.
Yeah, exactly. I have naysayers saying even if he gets up there, it's not going to prove anything. I'm like, all right, there's no pleasing some people.
No, that's the thing, is that it doesn't matter what we come up with.
I hope there's not a dome for his sake.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's no naysaying. Rule number 2.
Yeah, exactly. I have naysayers saying, even if he gets up there, it's not going to prove anything. I'm like, all right, there's no pleasing some people.
No, that's the thing. Is it doesn't matter what we come up with. Hey, I'm all for it. Let's no naysaying. Rule number 2.
Yeah, exactly. I have naysayers saying, even if he gets up there, it's not going to prove anything.
No, that's the thing. Is it doesn't matter what we come up with.
I hope there's not a dome. There's not a dome for his sake.
Hey, I'm all for it. Let's no naysaying. Rule number 2.
Yeah, exactly. I have naysayers saying, even if he gets up there, it's not going to prove anything. I'm like, all right, there's no pleasing some people.
That's the thing. Is it doesn't matter what we come up with.